Hello neighbors, this is Christopher Bradford again. I'm reaching out to give you guys an update about the issue around Big Basin Water that was discussed with Congressman Pannetta's office pretty recently. The key thing to communicate is that Pannetta's team reached out. And they discovered that we do have a partner, a public partner, and that partner is the county. The county appears to be making large efforts to move things forward with getting a deal going with Big Basin Water so that the county can take over operation. That's the word on the proverbial street. That's what Panetta's team communicated to me. And we also heard similar things in a meeting a couple days later that involved Gail Pellerin, our assembly person. She assured me that her office and Senator Laird's office are working closely to try to help solve this problem and make sure that constituents don't lose their property values and don't lose the ability to live in their homes, comfortably and with fresh water. And that's a big deal. As we spoke about previously, our best case scenario was having a public partner to receive the infrastructure funds that Jimmy Panetta's team was going to work hard to bring down to us. And again, they couldn't just give that to a private entity. And with nearly $40 million potentially of repairs and infrastructure upgrades that need to happen in order for our water to be clean, it was imperative that we have a public partner. No private entity is going to take on that kind of debt for a service that maybe has 600-700 customers. It would take generations for them to pay it back, and it would probably be irresponsible for them to take it on. So I don't blame other entities for not moving forward with this deal. It's a big mess. It's a big mess, and I think it's important that the government step up and help solve this problem, because the lack of regulation is what got us here in the first place, right? Without accountability, you can't expect private organizations to hold the line when it comes to the standards that we want them to live up to. And it's on these government entities like the Water Board to use accountability to keep these folks running correctly, and they haven't. So seeing the government step up to solve this issue is good. It makes me happy, and I'm very hopeful. Now, of course, this isn't a guarantee, right? We all know until something's on paper, it's just conjecture and hope. I want to see some of it written out. There's a reason they don't send these updates in email. We call it used to call email evidence mail when I worked near government some time ago. And that's what the E stands for. So we're at the first step where things are working behind the scenes. And hopefully we'll move forward to the next step where public announcements can be made and we can all kind of get our hands around what the plan is and see how things are going to go moving forward. And we need community voices to keep speaking up. It's imperative that everyone understands it's not just fire rebuilds who are in danger here. It's every single person on the system. SLV Water stated that they would not be fixing any of the issues that happened with Big Basin Water. And we all know that they've come forward and helped repair things that have broken down that Moore family didn't have the funds to fix. With that disappearing, if there's a big enough situation that Big Basin Water doesn't have the money to repair, we could potentially just be out of water here. And I can't tell you how bad that would be for everyone. Our homes potentially red tagged. We'd be unable to sell our properties. Our property values would plummet. It would be horrible for all of us. So we all need to speak up as a community. It can't just be a few loud voices. I deeply appreciate the amount of support that we've received already from neighbors, and all your comments on YouTube video and your comments on the posts on Facebook and Nextdoor are fantastic, because it shows that the community is engaged, and so I appreciate all that. I haven't had a chance to answer back to everyone yet because there's so much going on, but I have read what you said, and I've taken your advice and hoping to put it to work. Another thing to consider too is that this issue affects firefighting. Right? If we don't have water, we can't save homes. I know if we would have had more water, if the water had been, if we hadn't lost access to water, then my own home would probably still be standing right now. So this is an important issue for CAL FIRE and for the Boulder Creek Fire Department. And so we need to engage them. Chief Bingham, from what I understand, is turning to a non-water approach to fighting fire because of these issues. And I'm glad that there are other options, certainly, but we want him to have all the tools that he needs, to keep our homes safe. So we have a website that a bunch of community members are putting together, and thank you, Chandra, and the rest of the team for making this happen, called customersofbbw.com. We're kind of creating this as a central clearinghouse for information about what's happening, because we have neighbors who are on Nextdoor, for instance, but aren't on Facebook, and folks who are on Facebook but not Nextdoor, and folks who aren't on the internet at all, right? And we want folks to be able to have one place to go to, so that we're all aware of what's happening and know how to contribute and how to make our voices heard. So please go to that site, customersofbbw.com. From there, you'll be able to find email addresses to write directly to our elected representatives. Please write. Please express how important this is to you. Squeaky wheels get the grease every single time. And we've got to do this together as a community. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this video. I hope I've communicated clearly what it is that we all need to know as far as this update goes. We have a public partner. The county is working on it. It's not locked in yet. Things are still in progress, but it's moving in the right direction according to our representatives, Gail Pellerin and Jimmy Pannetta and Senator Laird. So please continue to communicate with these representatives, communicate with us. Please let me know if you experience something individually that can help move things forward. Your experience matters. And if we all come together here, we can get this issue solved and, have safe water for our homes and for our children and our families. Okay. All right, thank you very much. I'll talk to you again soon.